Alright, well hey again guys. Originally I was going to do a little intro about me, but I figured I'm just going to do that another time. But I will go over my history with hacking when it comes to NPC hacking specifically, but we will talk about like other game related hacks. Now there are other things I have done over the years, but I won't really get into all that at the moment because it would take a long time, and I really just kind of want to focus on NPC hacking specifically and how it all started. The first thing that I was interested in was cheat codes. If you've ever gone to a bookstore or a book fair, I don't know if everybody had a book fair, but my school did. And you could go there and you buy books and things like that. Well, they would have cheat code books lined up there as well that I would get. I have like 3 of them, I want to say. Like a green cover, a red and a yellow, and then an orange. And from what I remember, they're not really in the best condition. You know, this was like when I was single digit years, you know, as a kid. So I didn't exactly take care of stuff like I should have. But I do now. But back then, I would get cheat code books. And guys, they were like pages and pages long of different games that you could, if you had it, I mean, at least a cheat code for it. Or secrets for it. I just remembered that. Secrets, tips, and cheat codes. The cheat code book definitely did help me out. But obviously, it has its limitations compared to Game Shark and Action Replay, or, you know, going up to a memory editor like Cheat Engine or Cosmos. It's an extremely big leap. But anyways, yeah, like cheat code books, definitely very, very helpful. I mean, if you're not into like the whole Game Shark Action Replay, which those are really simple to do. When it comes to just inputting codes, now if you want to convert the codes and everything, that's a bit more difficult process. I mean, there's obviously tutorials and stuff, but yeah, it's a bit more advanced compared to, you know, just codes that you find online and you input. But that would be what I went to next once I realized like how much more powerful it is. You know, I could do any game I wanted, but we all know Game Shark and Action Replay and Game Genie, they do have their limitations as well. Of course, they are much, much more efficient and just better overall than a cheat code book. But I mean, you know, it's why we got options. So I did that for a little while, and once I found out, you know, you could do all that, this was when I was like, before I turned 10. Cheat codes, the cheat code books, this was when I was around 5 to 7. I kind of just went off and on using my laptop. Oh, and that reminds me, I was also using like built-in developer consoles. You know, like Fallout 3 and Medal of Honor Airborne, like for PC that is. Game Shark Action Replay is what I used from 2007 up to 2011. 2012 and up, I was going back and forth with my 360 and my laptop, gaming laptop I had, that I still have. Granted, yeah, obviously it's pretty outdated. Hell, it wouldn't even really, I mean, it would play Battlefield 3 and 4. It ran it pretty good. Like, I got really stable frame rates, really no lag or anything, especially with Call of Duty and all that. But when it came to Black Ops 3 and games after 2000, well, games when 2015 hit forward is when my computer was starting to kind of struggle with stuff. But my gaming desktop, which I built myself in 2022, it can still play everything pretty good. So 2010 is where I really started messing with Cheat Engine. But it wasn't for NPC hacking though. It was for infinite ammo and health. And I don't exactly remember which program I used it on first. I think it might have been Roblox. Because back then, you know, Roblox was pretty easy to exploit. You could literally put scripts in Cheat Engine's memory editor. It would work. You could do it in any game on Roblox, but they obviously patched it. I think they patched, I don't know how long it took, but exploits were really fun on Roblox. I didn't abuse it, but there were people on there that most certainly did, so, you know what? So you want to know what I did since they wanted to do that? I abused them. Hell, there was even one point where you could bring up the, I think it was like developer tools or something that they called it. And you could, at that point, it was basically limitless. You could do whatever. You could put scripts in, make yourself admin in somebody else's game. Oh, man, that brings back so much nostalgia. Now, Roblox, it's not even like, I don't know, man. It's not Roblox anymore. I know that much. Pretty sad how just things change and, you know, they're never really gonna, I guess, change back unless we got like time travel or something, be able to experience stuff again. I know Roblox, you can actually get the old versions and play those still and whatnot, but I haven't really looked into all that yet. I probably should. It just, you know, I wouldn't be able to play the games that once were there and probably still are there to this day. I don't really know. I haven't kept up with Roblox in a long time, guys. And the last time I did try it with my laptop, oh boy, it wasn't great. But this was like 2016 when they added a bunch of shit within the past 4 years. And yeah, like from 2012 to 2016, they made a lot of changes. And wow, obviously a decade later, there's even more changes. And they're going through some stuff as well because, yeah. Anyways, that's kind of how I started with Cheat Engine. Also, with other things as well, I learned you could do with it. You know, you can literally use it for any game. For money, health, ammo, whatever you want to do. You just have to know how to make it happen. But yeah, it started off as all that for me. And then speed hacking. Like you could do speed hacking and stuff like that as well. It didn't work for every single game, but you could do that. And there are some basic functions that I was doing at the time with Cheat Engine. And I also started learning about Visual Studio in 2012, but I also wasn't really fully grown at the time. I was still a teenager. No sooner I got into Cheat Engine, I got into Visual Studio, I got into Cain and Abel, just learning a whole bunch of different things and how stuff works. Again, it's amazing. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I tinker around with a lot of shit. Both of my 360s are torn apart. One of them is actually in my room still in the cabinet. And I believe it still runs and everything. I just have to, I gotta double check stuff because I haven't started that thing in years. But yeah, I also had a Modern Warfare 2 limited edition Xbox 360 and the disc reader quit on it. I didn't have the money to fix it. I was a teenager. So, I mean, really not much of anything I could do. But, yeah, and I was also messing with USB mods and stuff like that. You guys remember Horizon, or the mod tools? I think there was also, I can't exactly remember what they all were. But, yeah, I would sit there and use all that as well. And that kind of dug me a little bit further into, hex editing and stuff like that. But yeah, around this era, I also was doing USB mods, and later I ended up doing hot swapping, ISO mods. And I realized there was a lot of stuff to learn and things like that. It was a pretty crazy time. but it definitely helped me understand, even if it's only for that specific thing. You know, they did have tutorials on how to find this and how to find that, but I wanted to learn how to do all of that myself. So that's what I started doing. So 2012 is when I first started getting into like NPC hacking. But what made me officially want to get into all of it, when I seen other people having access to unplayable characters, it kind of gave me an idea of like, oh, okay, well shit, I want to go do all this myself then. Well, I didn't realize how difficult it is. Again, when you're doing all this from the beginning, have no idea of what's going on, you don't really look stuff up, it's extremely difficult. And I don't even know how I was doing with what I was, like some of the games that I ended up doing way later, I'm just gonna be real, I would have never figured them out back then. Because back then, I didn't really realize how non-universal game code is. And how it can just literally be anything when it comes to hacking unplayable characters. From 2012 to now, I have done a lot of research and documentation myself. And yeah, there's not really a whole lot of stuff out there when it comes to NPC hacking. It's really one of those like gray areas where you have to figure it out on your own if you're able to, but it's really, really difficult, which I have learned over the years that that's just how it unfortunately goes. Like, it's not going to be the same each game. I'm sure a few people think like I'm being rude or something like that when I say like it depends on your critical thinking, like you're analyzing, your problem solving, and like your skill and your talent. But no, I'm just telling you the truth. If you really want something, like, you're gonna have to unfortunately do it, because nobody else is going to do it for you. And I mean, if you're able to do it, you can try other games out and see what you can do. But again, like, it's not really a simple thing, unfortunately. You know, I used to have tutorials up creating character modifiers and whatnot by finding the values. Wow, this one was really for select screen hacking. Yeah, and just so we're clear, again, if you ever stumble across one of my videos about some trolling, stealing thieves, it's not towards anybody besides them, but obviously if like the shoe fits, then, well, it fits. But generally, it's not towards anybody besides them idiots. With that said, though, I'm actually glad that I'm posting videos and it's not like drama-filled bullshit. You know, I've only been on here for a little over a year, and it's just crazy how quick there is some bullshit that popped up. I've just been trying to live my life, just post what I want to post. If people like it, awesome. But it's pretty much documentation and preservation, and gives a good example of, yes, you can NPC hack any game, but it's different each game, and it's not a simple process, unfortunately. Again, if you do like select screen hacking, that's one thing, but once you get to like loader hacking and in-game hacking, that's when it's really, really gonna like test your might, like some Mortal Kombat shit. It's tough, man. And if you got it, hey, that's what's up. And there's no need to get mad at other people's creations. So yeah, really the only thing I can tell you when it comes to this is to experiment. Just dig around and look. There's really no specific spot. From my experience, it doesn't really matter what you look for, because it could be absolutely anywhere what you need when it comes to NPC hacking. It sucks, but unfortunately, that's just how it goes for this, and I do enjoy it, regardless of how stressful it can be. I've came a long way since cheat code books. Yeah, it's really extremely rare for me to get a break on this and something to be super, super simple. That's why you have to experiment, guys. You never know what you can do until you figure it out. But yeah, with that said though, I will see y'all later.